Close. Yeah.
And who else is on here? My apologies.
There's Ron Quinn.
Ron. Yeah, and I'm in Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that means, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Oh.
I'm hoping that's what that means. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, you're close. You're close.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Let's talk this.
No, it's even worse. I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, so.
Oh, actually, no, okay.
Yeah.
You would have said Rangers or Canadians. I would have.
No.
Okay, I can accept that.
Yeah,
Okay.
window up here.
Actually, like my adult men's league. Well, actually, there's women on there too. But the co-ed league, we have about 3 or 4 Flyers fans on the team.
Oh, nice.
They're gritty crazy.
I think everybody is.
Yes. I have to admit that it was very well played by the Flyers. A great marketing tool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, if you don't mind, why don't I just introduce myself a little bit? I don't know my background. I signed up with ItWorks October 7th, and I signed up through Ashley Mayfield and Jason Mayfield. I
You tried to be a part of, dude.
Yeah, there we go. I discovered Jason Mayfield on YouTube. He's kind of does an internet YouTube ministry, and he doesn't really talk about the business at all, but he talked about finances, and then basically he kind of brought it up. And then I followed him on Facebook, and then when they had that promotion for, I think it was the first time with the Keto Coffee business kit, and
Okay.
that's why I said that sounds good. Let me just try and jump in and I used the product. I wasn't that heavy. I was like about 220, 217, floating around there. And then on the Keto Coffee, within 3 weeks, I lost 15 pounds.
Nice.
And then I maintained for a while, and then they introduced Thermophyte X, and I ordered as soon as I could. I didn't get it until middle of January, just before conference.
Okay.
And I started taking it, and then I went to conference, and because I used to live in Tampa, I flew down early. I flew down the previous Sunday, so I could spend a few days before conference started, and see friends and blah blah blah. So from the second I landed until the moment I came back from Tampa, I didn't follow any diet. The healthiest thing I ate was the lettuce on my Wawa sub. But I had pizza one night with a friend that I reconnected with, and then I also had pasta, breakfast sandwiches, and most of my lunches were subs from Wawa because I love Wawa. Anyways, so when I get back on Monday, I try to weigh myself every Monday. I weigh myself, and I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? I lost 1 pound. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And I didn't do much exercise. Well, we kind of walked around the arena a little bit, and then during the breaks, our team we would meet over in the park across the street. But that's the amount of walking I did. I definitely didn't do exercise. So yeah, I was, and that's what really sold Thermophyte X to me. So currently I'm staying on Thermophyte X, the triple threat, and then I sprinkle in the Keto Coffee here and there. Now in the business end, I'll be honest, it's my job. It makes it difficult for me to be consistent. I drive for a transit bus company. My schedule is crazy. Like for now, I have to wake up at 4 in the morning, and I work till about 9:30 in the morning. Then I have a break until about 1:30. So I try to film in there on Facebook when I can, and then I get home at 7 o'clock at night and try to do some then. It's also, I have the responsibility. I'm also a union rep for the drivers, so I'm working on cases and going to the monthly union meeting. So the time is really tight. It's not impossible because I know other people have done it, and especially so it's just really challenging. And I try to get any momentum going because I really want to try to post on Facebook. I really utilize the social media because I think that's primarily when we get my business from, because I can't talk to my customers on the bus. I can only talk to so many of my fellow drivers. So yeah, and that's basically where I am. I had one distributor from Canada.
Okay.
Excuse me. That she seemed real good, but she just wasn't the social media, and I said, well, you got to give it some time. You know, you're not going to learn all in a month, but you know, she didn't want to stay. But I haven't signed one customer yet. I've come so close, and I just get that last minute. Well, I want to talk to my doctor. Well, you know, the time isn't right. I just keep giving those excuses. So that's where I am right now. Where I'm definitely sold on the product and in the business. I have no doubts. I'm very big believer in that. It's just getting other people and other customers on board. But I'm really focusing this week. I have a great upline that's working with me, and they're really helping me out. They're helping me with the Instagram and Facebook stories and little topics to post. And I have no problem doing lives. I love doing that. But you know, I'm trying to be consistent because that's what people see: consistency, and they get to know you because it's attraction marketing. Anyways, I know I've talked a bunch there, but that's my story.
No, that's the kind of things we were hoping for tonight, was for somebody to say, here's my story, let me get a chance to talk about my why or anything like that. You know, this is what I'm looking for with this kind of group, is an opportunity for people to be able to say, I need help. Where am I struggling with this that I'm not understanding? And having that group of guys they can talk to instead of trying to get their team, their upline's team, to help them out, and they don't really have a way of understanding because they're mostly females.
Right.
You know. So. And I want to keep it more open forum in the sense of, if you guys have questions or anything, you can voice them on here instead of having to type it out.
Right.
So
Oh yeah, that is
the way that you're going with it.
Especially me, my fat fingers and these small keys. Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
Sure. Yeah, and a lot of the Zooms that I'd watched in the past, it's like you're basically the host and whoever they're talking to, and that's all that talks. Everybody else just puts comments and other random things in there.
Yep.
Hopes to maybe get a
that's
question or anything.
Yeah, that's what our weekly team meeting is like. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but at the same time, I think lately it's like over, I think like 500 people or something. No, 405 people. So I mean, yeah, it has to be that way. But
yeah, you couldn't have an open forum like that.
Yeah, but
not too easy.
I think I appreciate it a little on a smaller scale here. You know, we can have that more healthy conversation, or where we can figure things out, or where things we may not be able to talk about with our upline or our team or whatever. Yeah, so exactly. I think this is great. It's a great idea, and hopefully we can really take root with it, and hopefully it'll prosper and help others. Sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and I think in my experience, the one common theme for all men that I've run into in this business is the same as what Derek just described. Mm-hmm. You know, getting your head around it's a women business, and it's really not. Like you said, I spoke to Joel. Really. He said the same thing. He said, break it down. It's sales. It doesn't really matter. Right. Just try to find what appeals to, what you want to get out of it. And so the second he said that, it was like the light bulb went off. And because I joined with my sister-in-law last year, and for 6 months, I did nothing. I posted here and there, and I just expected people to come flocking to me. Right. And guess what? Nobody came flocking to me. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up buying a bunch of products. I tried stuff that worked for me. And then lo and behold, in 4 or 5 months, I lost 25 pounds by really not changing a whole lot, but incorporating these products into my life, posting about it more. And I've got 3 distributors, 2 which teeter on not wanting to do anything, 1 who's fully into it. And then one of the things I focus on a lot is just trying to get loyal customers. Because I feel like if I can get loyal customers to try like the Thermophyte or the Keto Coffee, then they're easier to convert, I would think, into distributors because they already have a fund of the product. And that's what it took for me to really fully immerse myself and believe in this. Because, look, it's MLM, right? So everybody's a skeptic out of the gate. What are you trying to pull on me? You just want to make a buck. But if you're using them and you drop 25 pounds, and you're posting about it, then people want to try it. And so it really took me to fall in love with the products before I actually started to work my business. And so even though I'm not making a fortune, I don't have a big army of a team, I really believe in it, like you were saying. And when I believe in it, the loyal customers start trying different things. And, you know, hopefully they fall in love with it too and want to get the discount and sign up as a distributor, maybe make a couple bucks. And so that's where I'm at now. And the man cave thing too. You know, it took me a while to get into there. I was telling Chad before you joined. And when I got on there and joined, I just went, well, this is nothing but a bunch of backslapping, welcoming everybody to the group. And there's 5,500 members in here, which means 5,500 people, men in this business with information about the business that are just doing nothing but saying hi.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I felt the same way.
Yeah. And I belong to a couple groups in my upline. My uplines are all women. Right. So when I'm on their team pages, they are sharing ideas every day and working with each other and building each other up and sharing ideas. And then, you know, the man page is just like crickets.
Yeah. I know, it's like a page is so large, but it's nobody is active, or very seldom, or very little is active. But yeah. And one thing I just remembered is I especially when I first started, I really wanted to look at the man dare, and I was so pumped and excited. And then when Thermofite X came out, I said, "Oh, I'd like to see." But I guess they're trying to phase out the man dare because they still have the original Thermofite in that. But when I was at conference, I just happened to run into Joel Dunn. I was looking for somebody else, and I'm walking down there, and there's one of the suites on the left. I just said, "Oh, Joel Dunn's like right next to me. Hi, Joel." And very nice guy. But I was talking for a brief moment, and I asked him. He said, "Yeah, I really want to try this man dare." And he, you know, thinking about the Thermofite X, he said, "Well, we're phasing it out, but we're looking to reintroduce it." But he didn't put any timetable on that. And so that's a little promise, you know, something I'm looking towards, and hopefully it'll happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
I think that would give us a real big boost, you know, if they, I don't know how they're going to introduce it, if they're just going to repackage it or just change the Thermofite X or whatever. But I think based on the previous marketing I saw about it, it looked pretty decent. I don't know how successful it was, but it would just give me something more comfortable to market, because it just doesn't seem like it is kind of unisex, some of the marketing, but it's still kind of slightly tilts towards the female. But
yeah, well, I mean, I got a few loyal customers who like the shakes, and now they're discontinuing those, right? So maybe there's something better coming out, but that's something I'm very comfortable selling is the shakes and mixing it with different flavors of greens to come up with different shake flavors.
Right. Yeah. My gut is telling me that the new product is going to be a shake kind of thing, and that's why they got rid of this. And there were too many people that liked it. I think they're just retooling it, or having a new formula like Thermofite X was new formulas.
Yeah, they're coming out with all these new formulas. The company's growing, and
that's my gut feeling, but we'll see.
Some of it might have been with some of the changes, or trying to go along with some of the different countries we're getting into, and things that their people would be able to take based on body issues or anything there that the body can take in. So they're trying to get so that those countries can be able to use the products too.
Right. Okay. I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like we're getting into the Philippines and Mexico this month, and we've got some other countries we're getting into over the next 10 months. So it's like maybe some of the stuff that they're trying to work with, they did the research on what was legal, illegal that they could use in terms of how to sell it or what they could have in it. So like, well, we're going to make it the full switch for everybody. So that when they're trying to sell, say, from Nebraska into Mexico or Spain or Portugal or anything like that, they know how it works here as how it's going to work there, so that when they're trying to sell it, it can all work the same way.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, like, some of the other products that are out there, it's a case of we haven't really had them in the sense that they talk about them enough, because they're all the kind of things that they're so specific to certain people that they're like, well, if it's not something that we can do like wrap parties with, or we can do sip and samples, it's probably not something that's going to be too easy to take, because you need some time to work with it, and 45 minutes to however long it takes for keto energy or keto coffee for some people to really feel it, you know, if you can't do a sip and sample or a wrap party with it, probably not something we really want to spend too much time talking about.
True. Well, I can say that the products that I've used, the keto coffee and the new K cups. I definitely like the K cups a lot better.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
You know what I don't like about them is that an easy sell, or it's 12 cups for $40? That's that throws me back a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing that's nice about it though is it might be 12 cups for $40, but you don't have to have a Keurig or a single serving brewer to work with it. A lot of people think because it's the K cup, you have to have a Keurig machine or some machine that works with that specifically. You can actually still do it like you would with the regular keto coffee, where you might put it into some kind of a mixer or just into the cup with hot water and do your little frother.
Yeah, I think one of our customers in our group even mixed it with the shake.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I have both coffees. I finally last month tried the chocolate greens when I went to the on the go, and that was good. I mixed with the coffee. I got the berry, which currently I've only tried it just by itself in water. I'm not sure if I want to try it with the coffee. Or I got the energy, which I used before my hockey. It works pretty good. What else? Oh yeah, the hydrate. That is, I like that.
Yeah.
Did you say you played hockey?
I just a year ago. I started adult class, and then we have a novice league on Thursday nights that I started last fall, and this is our third season. Fall, winter, and summer. And
that's really cool.
It is, especially because we were able to take the whole class and form a team. It wasn't just like some sprinkle, and so we haven't won yet. But we're getting there. I mean, and I scored my first goal last season, and oh man, I was so excited, I didn't even know what to do. I jumped up and just fell down because I didn't know what I was doing. But anyways,
it's the best. I've been playing my whole life, and I'm 54, and I still play.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm 48, and and I honestly think because of the product, because I also take the New You, the Confianza, and that's helped with recovery, and also I don't know, I feel more energy. And I don't know, focus and clarity. I really, that's another thing. When I'm kind of jumping all around, but things just come to my head. When I was last December, because I'm a union rep, I have to supervise the schedule picks for all the bus drivers. But at the same time, I had to work my regular schedule. So basically, for one whole week, I was working 18-hour days nonstop. And about Wednesday, through the week on Wednesday at night, I'm like, I just realized, hey, I'm working 18-hour days. I haven't had any fatigue. My focus is on point. It's like, oh my gosh, this stuff is really working. So again, I guess I'm getting all this confirmation of these products really working. So there hasn't been anything I haven't been satisfied with yet. I think, I haven't tried the wraps yet. I'm actually going to try wraps soon. I think maybe next month. I can't think of anything that's on deck that I want to try.
Sure. I know, like, with some of the products, like the Confianza, the New You, stuff like that, that's all stuff that it's like, you feel it working, but there's really no results in terms of, like, you lost any weight to be able to show. Everybody's like, how does that really work? It's like, well, unless you're around me at work, how is it really easy to talk about in terms of showing people what it really does when they're not around you enough to see it?
Yeah, I think what that is it's all in presentation and just being honest and genuine and being yourself. And one thing that kind of helped me through, because one thing our team focuses on is a ton of personal development. We listen to a lot of podcasts and read books. And one podcast I listened to was Ed Milet, and I forgot the gentleman's name, but he had a guest for a whole hour. And he talks about, get comfortable, get uncomfortable. And one suggestion he did was go to the classifieds or go on Google and search for a local improv class. And I did that, and because believe me, it broke me out of my shell, and it helps you think fast, it helps you communicate, it helps you be creative, and it wasn't just to have fun and have comedy, because it wasn't all comedy, but he's right, but it really helps with sales and public speaking. So like right now, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do this a year ago. I'm very serious. I would not be able to do this. And now I love doing lives. I love talking with other people about it. So I think it's just consistency, practice, and getting out of your comfort zone. And fortunately, the class that I do is free. I know some charge, but we have a free class, which helps. But I totally recommend if you ever have an opportunity to do improv class, do it. It really helps a lot in communication and breaking out of your comfort zone. So that's my suggestion to others.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I know I definitely want to have some more conversations like this about things like what we listen to for our self-development, what we read, how it's actually working with us in terms of our thoughts about the business itself, and things like that to kind of help people with what they might want to post about or how they can talk with people about things using some of the stuff that you've learned from the self-development things, and not just what you've seen other people post, but how you take what you've heard from other people and post about that.
Now, I have a question. I remember, I think it was you, Chad. Did you do like a vendor event?
Yeah, I just did one on Saturday.
So how do you look for those? I mean, is there usually a charge to do that, or?
It depends on the type of show, but around most of them, it's maybe $25 to $40 to get into for the space that you have.
Right.
And a lot of times, with some of those vendor charges, it's going to maybe if it's at a church, it's going to a particular group within the church. It's kind of a fundraiser for them. If it's other things, it might be fundraisers for them as well. It's not necessarily to pay whoever the host is for it, but it might be helping them to pay the rent for the space they get. But these two were happening at my home church, so I heard about them from the coordinator for it itself. But a lot of people have in the past checked around like Google or some community websites in towns to find different vendor fairs or craft shows and tried to see if they had any spots for vendors available or if they were doing vendors at the shows and what if they had anything specifically close to what we were so that there wasn't duplicates of the same thing, because a lot of shows don't want to have more than one person doing a certain kind of thing. It's not so much the same one person or two people from the same company, because ItWorks doesn't allow that in a show. But it's two groups selling the same style of product or the same kind of product. So like if I showed up to the show and I said all I'm going to have with me is wraps and that's all I'm talking about, I'd be able to get in because none of the other companies out there have the wrap. So I'd probably get in because I specifically quoted it as I'm just here with the wraps. I'm going to talk to people about wraps, get them to try them, come back to me in 45 minutes, and let me know how they felt with it, if they wanted to try it there, kind of thing. And then my Blitz card's there to show them my website and all that kind of stuff for the other things.
Okay. Now, are there certain guidelines that you have to follow through ItWorks? Or I mean, like
there are in eSuite some information about the vendor shows in there that you can do. And then information about insurance too. That's something that a lot of shows do require you to have insurance, because if any of your product was to be stolen, they don't have the responsibility for it. Or if anything was damaged for whatever reason, it's not their responsibility to cover it. So yeah. So there's information in eSuite there for all that kind of thing too.
Okay. All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah. And they're really easy to get into. They're fun to do. The two shows I've been in so far have been really slow because we had the first one I did back in November, I think it was. We had snow in the Rockford area. And then we also had a bigger vendor crafters show happening about 3 miles away from where we were that a lot of people were going to because it was indoors, bigger, and they were paying like $4 to get into it. And with it being right around Christmas, you've got everybody doing their craft and vendor shows then to get their Christmas goodies out there to sell, to have under the tree.
Right. Oh, real quick, I just remember you said Rockford. I forgot that you live near Rockford or in Rockford. And actually, I think I told you I might be coming out to Rockford. It's pushed back to June, sometime in June now. Hopefully we'll know soon. But I guess because my friend saw your comment, and I guess he lives right near you or something like that, or where the facility that we're using to teach the kids is right near that area or something like that. So hey, as soon as I find out when I'm coming, I'll let you know. And if you want, maybe want to get together for a short time, because I will be busy most of the time teaching the kids the drums. But
where's that it's supposed to be? Do you know or who the friend is that's in charge of it?
Well, it's a totally new not-for-profit youth against violence organization that he wants to start a drum line with, like middle-aged kids, or maybe 10. And I think the youngest would be 10-year-old or something like that. And he's flying me out because I go way back from like 25 years when I used to march in drum corps with him.
Okay.
And he wants me to come out and help him start it. So for like a weekend, I'm hoping for the first weekend of June if things work out. but it may be closer to middle probably. Hopefully we'll know soon. But yeah, it's funny. There's you, and then there's also somebody on my team that lives in Rockford, Monica. Hopefully can chance. I met her at the conference, and hopefully get a chance to meet up too if there's time. But yeah, it's a small world. And Ron, you live near Philly?
Well, I'm 2 hours from Philly.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I still am a season ticket holder for the Flyers. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I drive down on the weekends and go see games, and then I sell the weekday games.
I want to say I have a friend that lives in Exton, Pennsylvania, which I think is like 45 minutes west of Philly.
Yeah, I wish I could live there, but.
Yeah. Well, geez, I live in this small city of Rochester, where we're not known for much anymore. It used to be Kodak and Xerox, but they've gone. Well, they're here, but they're a shell of what they used to be.
Yeah, I have a friend who used to live in Rochester. She lives in Tampa now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I enjoyed living in Tampa. That was nice. I lived in Rochester my whole life except for the 3 years in Tampa. I almost stayed there, but my wife, she had difficulty finding work down there, and so she moved back here because she could get better work. And actually worked out for the better because the bus driving pays a lot more up here than in Florida. But
yeah.
I moved back.
Well, in Florida they pay you with sunshine, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunshine and hurricanes.
But I plan on this business to take off and maybe move back here.
I did the opposite. I grew up in Florida and I moved up here, so.
Whoa, well that's rare.
Yeah. Melbourne, Cocoa Beach on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny because I think she was number 3 in the company, but Jade Hooper lives about 4 miles from where I live.
Well, for now, she's moving to Nashville.
Yeah, she's moving to Tennessee. And then Rachel Jones, who's one of the top leaders that everybody finds on YouTube, she just moved to Tennessee. And she was from this area too.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's like we're losing 2 of the top leaders from the company living in the same area.
Right.
It's like, come on. I mean, Illinois is not the greatest place to live, I'll admit, but lose two of the top people in the company to the same state.
I just thought of something. When you do, actually not thought something. I have a question.
Sure.
Facebook stories. I saw recently that somebody posted a golf version of like stories of the triple threat or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been trying to figure out how to make my own. And the women, they show me, there's this app and this app. And I go over there and it's just, I don't have a lot of time to create this stuff.
Yeah.
I want to do one for hockey. I want to do some more, male-oriented, or maybe like a camping one or a hunting one.
Sure. Like camping, fishing, or hunting kind of thing? Or
yeah, and I'm thinking if I just do a Google search for images, generic images, I don't want to advertise any company.
Yeah. Pinterest has some good stuff for that, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out ways to just attract different demographics or different interests.
Yeah. With some of the stuff you're looking for, check out Pinterest. They have a lot of different graphics and things like that
that you
can work with.
Now, the stories I've been doing, I've been getting some definitely interest. I mean, not interest, but people liking it or anything.
They're viewing it,
but nobody questioning, hey, I'm interested. So at least I'm getting it seen. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's in front of eyes. Now I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what's the combination to create more interest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just something I'm playing around with.
Well, remember too, with advertising, the key to success with any advertising is repetition. So
consistency, repetition.
Yeah.
And the other thing from the podcast is always create curiosity. Curiosity, makes them want to know more, and makes them want to inquire. So
definitely.
Yeah, sometimes it takes someone 3 or 4 times to see the same thing to get the message.
Yeah.
Right.
You only see bits and pieces of it when you're skimming.
Right. And a lot of the sales that on my team have, they say, I keep seeing it on your stories or on your lives. I see that you do it every day, or I see that you have your coffee all the time. So I became a believer. It wasn't that you weren't just trying to sell a product, and I could see you using it in front of me. I see you making it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I mix and match. I change my auto ships every month, trying all the different products.
Yeah.
And so, like the collagen with the keto creamer is really, really good.
Okay.
And then I mix the berry greens with the ketones.
Okay.
That's a really good drink.
Okay.
And so I'm mixing two products with one, and
Right.
yeah. So there's lots of ways to use the stuff too.
Yeah. Another one that I've heard of that's a good mix is the hydrate and the collagen.
Hmm.
You get like a tropical lemonade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I tried that once, and it was pretty good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And something that I also saw posted on our team page the other day is that, you know, to start selling the break up the keto coffee packets and sell samples like 3 for $15, or
Yeah.
you throw in a chocolate ingredient there or something like that, just to get some money flow going. And
Yeah.
just, it's, you know, so at least if people stop seeing it and say, well, okay, I can only spend $15, I get an idea of what it is instead of, oh man, $40 for a coffee or $39 plus shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
And maybe state tax depending on where you live for the items too.
yeah. So I'm gonna try that and see how that works, because I do
Yeah.
have a little, has some extra keto coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I did have a loyal customer today come to me and she did 3 months of Thermophyte, and she wanted to change her auto ship. Now I thought she was going to cancel after 90 days, right?
Right.
But then she called me up today and she said, "You're always talking about that coffee. Why don't we switch my auto ship to the coffee?"
Oh, there you go.
And she goes, she did bring up the price. She said one of the things is, you know, it's $40 for 15. And I'm like, yeah. I said that's like $2.60 a piece.
Right.
I said, but what I did is I was going to Starbucks every day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't go to Starbucks every day. So before I leave the house, I have my keto coffee. It's $2.60 as opposed to $4.
Right.
So I'm actually saving money by drinking it.
Exactly.
And, you know, in my weight loss, I use the ketones, the berry greens, and the keto coffee. And I told her, and I said, you know, using those 3 products and not changing much else, you know, I'm down from 236 pounds to 211. So
Yeah.
kind of hard to argue with that.
No,
Exactly. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, for me, some of the best practices, you know, that we teach in our group, and I do also, is I drink at least a gallon of water every day. I break it down to 4 20-ounce bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then I do the intermittent fasting. And so basically I just wake up at 4 a.m., have the keto coffee. Excuse me. And then for lunch, pretty much every day I have a salad and a soup, low carb soup. And then, and then by 7 or 8 o'clock, I have my dinner, which is any type of protein and any green. That's Monday through Friday. Now, Saturday and Sunday, I cheat a little bit. So it's a keto-ish diet, not full-blown keto. Because number one, I kind of like, oh, wait, I should back it up. I forgot, since I'm starting hockey again, Thursday nights I have a little more carbs, so I can burn it off and have the energy for the game. But on Saturday, Sunday, it's especially Sunday, because most Sundays I go to my parents' house. You know, I'm not going to have her create a separate meal for me. I have like a real small portion of potato, like real small portion, whatever. And also I kind of look at it as a reward. Okay, I didn't have any bread, potatoes, any starches the whole week. Let me just have a little bit, and it's like a reward for me. So, and that's where I've had the best results. Oh, I forgot it. I've lost since since the conference, and I got, because Thermophyte, actually I was out because they were out. I didn't get it until about a month ago, and I lost 5 more pounds, so I'm down to 195, and I kind of feel that's kind of the most weight I'm going to lose, and I think I'm at the point where that what do you call it? That my weight will fluctuate a little bit. Darn, I lost my train of thought. Shoot! I was just talking about someone the other day too. Shoot. Oh yeah. Whereas the weight may stay the same, but I will notice in my belt loop I go down a belt notch, but I stay the same weight. So maybe I'm just redistributing the muscle / fat, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not focusing on the numbers much, because I think I'm not that heavy as I used to be. So really, get my mind off the number and how do I feel? How do I feel in my clothes? How do I feel energy-wise? And so that's also what I try to put on my posts or lives, saying, yeah, I know I didn't lose that much weight, but I feel better. My clothes fit better, and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I noticed that about my clothes too. When I sit down and at work, it's my pants aren't so tight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's easier to breathe.
Oh yeah, Jesus! Especially driving bus, and my gut went hanging over my belt, and then in the summertime there'd be just a blotch of sweat on my shirt right by my belt loop. Yeah. But yeah, that's no more. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know of any guys that have tried that hair, skin, and nails?
I'm actually working with it right now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How long have you been using?
I've probably been using it about 10 days,
Oh.
but not consistently right now, because I had a couple days last week where I was sick, so I didn't take it.
Okay.
So, but it's just a matter of, that one's probably one of those that, yeah, 30 days would be a good indicator of how it's working, but you probably want longer, especially depending on if you're focusing more on the hair or the nails.
Right.
With the growth, depending on how much growth you're looking to get.
One thing I'm curious, because for my entire life I've tried to grow a beard and it just doesn't look pretty. There's spots that don't grow, and I give up. Like, this is the most you'll see on me. I shaved them out, or maybe you'll wait. The
I am not a beard guy either.
Yeah. I can get one going pretty well, but it's like after a while it gets itchy, and then with the job that I have, I really shouldn't have a beard anyway, because if any of the hair gets into food, it becomes a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's been times I've let it go for a while, and everybody's like, "Why haven't you shaved that yet?" I'm like, "It's cold out."
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I grow a beard and I look like I'm sick.
Right. Well,
speaking of sick,
I
also did try that immunity. There was one day I felt sickness coming, and I used it, and it was within less than 24 hours I felt back to normal. So immunity does work too. But I only use that as needed. I don't take it all the time.
Sure. All right. Guys, I hate to worry about the time on this, but I don't know when the hour that I had set for it in terms of the duration of the meeting was going to take effect when I got onto it. Okay. So we're getting kind of close, so I think I'm going to end it here. But I thank you so much for coming on. It was a fun conversation. We got a lot there that we could talk about and be able to work with, just with our stories and things that we wanted to work with. So I'll communicate with you guys about a good time to have another Zoom and try to get more people involved with it, and just talk to some of the others as you're working with them about it too.
Yeah, it was helpful for me.
Yeah, I think it's a good stepping stone. Yeah.
Yes, definitely a good start. I do have a recording. I'll get it to anybody that wants to see it, to see what we talked about.
Okay.
So, and talk to maybe Chad or Joel or somebody about connecting it to the page, so you can see what they missed out on.
Yeah. Very good. Cool.
All right. Let's do it again.
Thank you very much, you guys.
All right. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Chad. Go Bruins.
Nice to meet you, Derek.
Likewise.
All right, man. Shoot and score.
That's right. Top shelf.
Have a good night.
Good night, you guys.